95, 96, 97.3 Citi FM. It doesn't get any better than that. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
.3 Citi FM. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News, live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafi, and tonight I'm here with
Melody Fafa Kwatufe.
Coming up in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Well, not surprising because really follows in the theme of what we've been witnessing. But yeah, I think that we move on. There are a lot of battles that we can fight.
Suspended Chief Justice suffers yet another setback as application for injunction against the work of the committee investigating allegations of misconduct against her dismissed by the Supreme Court. Also coming up, Ashanti Regional Chairman of the MPP is still on admission at the hospital as his lawyers raced against time to meet a 50 million Ghana cedi bail condition. And later,
at this point in time, Ghanaian nurses and midwives are tired of excuses that the leadership has been making on behalf of the employer, and leadership is equally tired of the excuses from the employer.
Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association to declare a nationwide strike on June 9th over their conditions of service. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for these stories and more. Later coming up in business.
Government set to roll out 24-hour economy in July.
Eyewitness News is live on affiliates across the country and around the globe. We are on citinewsroom.com. Talking about affiliates, if you are in the western region, to be precise in Takrady, you can hear us on Beach 105.5 FM and then Sky 93.5 FM or in Takrady. In the Bono region, you can hear us on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, you can hear us on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, as well as Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, you can hear us on Revival 99.3 FM, as well as in the Northern region, Bembela Radio 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, you can hear us on Mike 105.3 FM in Navongo. In the Upper East region, you can hear us on Tonso 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapua 96.1 FM. In the Ahafo region, you can hear us on Hammers Radio 106.5 FM in Goso. You can also join us with your messages on WhatsApp. And the number is 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. Fafa has our first story.
The Supreme Court has unanimously dismissed an injunction application filed by the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokunu, which sought to halt the proceedings of a presidential committee investigating petitions for her removal from office. Justice Tokunu filed the application on May 21, 2025, asking the Apex Court to issue an interlocutory injunction against the 6-member committee established by President John Dramani Mahama. The application aimed to restrain the committee from carrying out any inquiry related to the petitions until the substantive case is resolved. However, the Supreme Court, in a unanimous ruling today, dismissed the application. The full written ruling is expected to be made available on June 12, 2025. Counsel for the suspended CJ Godfred Dame, addressing the media after proceedings, described the removal process as flawed.
Well, not surprising because really follows in the theme of what we've been witnessing. But yeah, I think that we move on. There are a lot of battles that we can fight. We think that the process is flawed, no doubt. Heavily flawed, laden with all kinds of constitutional violations. And I'm quite surprised that the Supreme Court will be more or less acceding to the perpetration of such violations against the highest judicial office holder. It's not about Justice Tokunu, as I keep saying. It's not about Justice Tokunu at all. The issues are far-reaching. They actually impinge on matters which affect the independence of Ghana's judiciary, the security or tenure of judges and all. But if the Supreme Court, for whatever reason, does not seem to take that view, well, so be it. I think that in future, the whole nation will get to know the consequences of this. I'm not here to disclose to you my line of action or plans. But clearly, what we can say is that this is a procedure that should be deployed. There cannot be a situation where the Chief Justice cannot face an inquiry set up under Article 146 of the Constitution to determine some inquiries against some petitions against her, and she's not had notice of the specific charges in respect of which a prima facie case has been made, the basis for such charges, and the reasons why she's supposed to go through the inquiry. I mean, this is a basic right that is available to every citizen of the country. It's not an account of her being a Chief Justice or her requesting for the grant of higher rights than as are due ordinary citizens. She's asking for basic constitutional right. The notice of charges that she's standing trial or she's supposed to respond to, the basis for saying that it's a case for her to answer. And indeed, this is a very significant point. It's a decision that resulted in her suspension. Are you saying that she cannot know the reason why she was suspended? She cannot know the specific charges on the basis of which the president said that she should go and stay at home and for another person to assume her office? I mean, this is very strange. It's something that's very much alien to every civilized legal system. But we'll see. We'll wait the reasons and then we'll deal with it. Due process, rule of law, constitutionalism must prevail in Ghana. That is what we seek. It is not on account of people putting pressure on the CJ to resign or do whatever that will take a decision. The most important thing is that there must be an upholding of the rule of law in Ghana. And we will continue to assert our rights. The proper thing must be done. As far as I'm saying, the proper thing must be done. And she is a Chief Justice. She's been in office. She's been a judicial office holder for more than 25 years or so. She's been at the bar for almost 40 years. She knows what is due process. She knows what is constitutional rights. And I think that's what she's asking for. And how can it be correct that a judge who sat on two matters on which she also sat be called as a witness in a petition against her, and that same judge be made the chairman of the committee that is supposed to inquire into the petitions against the Chief Justice? Clearly, it's untenable. It's only in this country that I don't know. And the question is, on what account can she be singled out for removal from office when indeed she did not sit even alone? She sat as part of a panel. One of the judges rather has been made a witness. That is all.
Godfred Dame is a lawyer for the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokunu.
Godfred Dame, as you also know, he's a former Attorney General and Minister of Justice of this country. Let's speak to Hansen Ajima. He's our court correspondent. He was in court for this particular injunction case that was heard by the Supreme Court. Hansen, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. But before this particular ruling on this injunction case, there were two other cases that was also heard or were heard by the Supreme Court.
Yes. So when the case was called, yesterday we had a statement from the Office of the Attorney General that at the commencement of the hearing of the injunction application, they would make a plea for the supplementary affidavit to be struck out by the court. If you remember, the supplementary affidavit is one that her ladyship, the suspended Chief Justice, revealed that her rights had been abused, that her dignity has been violated by the processes, and that she'd been subjected to inhumane treatment, saying that she's not allowed access to her mobile phone, that the kind of body searches that are done on her was worrying, that her husband and children were not allowed into the committee room, and that even though the hearings at the committee level had begun, she had not been given access to reasons for which the prima facie determination was made. So the Office of the Attorney General, as of yesterday, had served an indication that it was going to raise that objection. But before that objection was raised, the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Shremsai, he raised a preliminary objection, essentially saying that the court should take out the 5 other defendants in the substantive suit at the Supreme Court. So the suit at the Supreme Court currently is Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Tokunu versus the Attorney General versus Justice Scott Foreman versus Justice Adibu Asiedu versus Daniel Domlevo, and then the other 2 persons who are part of the committee. So all the 5 members of the committee have been named in the current suit at the Supreme Court as defendants. So the first preliminary objection by Dr. Shremsai was to say that take these 5 people out as defendants, so that the case will be between Justice Tokonu and versus the Attorney General. And that particular objection by Shremsai was dismissed by the 5-member panel unanimously. Then it paved way for him to move the objection for the supplementary affidavit to be struck out. He argued that if you look at some of the depositions, that is to say, some of the statements that were made in the affidavit, that is the supplementary affidavit, they go to the core of the ongoing committee hearings. A committee hearing that, per Article 146 Clause 8 of the 1992 Constitution, is supposed to be an in-camera setting, that is supposed to be private. And so the Deputy Attorney General argued that the court, by deciding to listen or hear the injunction application with that affidavit that specifies issues at the committee level, will be to breach that constitutional provision. Godfrey Dami, who represents the suspended Chief Justice, he argued that some of the issues contained in that affidavit in themselves do not relate to proceedings at the committee, which are issues of she not having access to her mobile phone, her husband and child not given access, and the searches that are done, the security search that are done before the committee hearing. He argued that those parts of the affidavit do not form part of the proceedings at the committee level. The other parts of the affidavits that you can agree may form part of the committee proceedings, which is the allegation that the suspended Chief Justice has not received any ruling giving out the basis for the prima facie determination. He argued that the fact that Article 146 Clause 8 says these sittings should be in camera do not mean that if the person who is undergoing such a proceeding is do not like the way the proceedings are ongoing, or her rights are being trampled upon, or things are not being done in an appropriate manner, she doesn't have the option for a judicial review. And so the fact that 146.8 says the proceedings should be in camera do not mean that it has extinguished any right the suspended Chief Justice has to pursue other platforms when she has issues with how the proceedings are being done. Despite this argument by Godfrey Dami, the 5-member panel felt that yes, indeed, the matters related to issues bordering the committee hearing, and so because of the dictates of Article 146 Clause 8, so they upheld the application by the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Shremsai, and then struck out that affidavit. And then I went ahead to hear the substantive application for today, which was the injunction application.
What everybody was looking out for. So that injunction application was heard without those facts that were deposed to by her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Tokono. The arguments that Godfrey Dami makes are that the prima facie determination is a quasi-judicial function. And if it is a quasi-judicial function, the President and the Council of State, at the time of making that decision or communicating that decision to the suspended Chief Justice, ought to have said that this and this and this is what is against, has been said against the plaintiff applicant here in Justice Tokono. This has been her response. But despite this response, we think that these issues A, B, C, D are still outstanding, and she ought to answer to them. For Godfrey Dami, he says the fact that the presidency did not bring out a prima facie determination in that manner makes it less of a prima facie determination.
And so he thinks that there's no prima facie determination to be called strictly in that sense, purposes for which a committee has been set to hear the petitions. He says the only thing that they have as a prima facie determination is in paragraph 3 and paragraph 4 of the president's communication to the acting the suspended chief justice, saying that the president and the council of state has considered the applications against you, has considered your answers, and based on this, a decision has been taken that prima facie has been made.
Is this the only case he has at the Supreme Court? There are other cases.
So there's a substantive case.
Okay.
So after this, the Deputy Attorney General said these matters are res judicata, meaning that the Supreme Court had previously, in other cases related to this, ruled on it, and so this is not a matter that the Supreme Court ought to go into it. Then, based on this, the Supreme Court came out and said it is dismissing the injunction application, meaning that the committee proceedings can continue in earnest. But there's the substantive matter, which is the one the suspended chief justice has filed, seeking an interpretation of relevant portions of the Constitution to declare one, that despite the Article 1468 requiring that proceedings under the proceedings under 146, which is the removal of Superior Court judges, including the Chief Justice, should be an in-camera sitting. If you look at the Constitution as a whole, she has a right as a defendant in that matter, or a respondent in those petitions, to decide to waive that right. She's also seeking an interpretation to say that once a ruling in her own words properly so called, not given for the prima facie, where basis was given for that prima facie determination, then that prima facie determination the president communicated to her is unconstitutional. She's also saying that based on the fact that Justice Scott Porman was in a case, had presided over a case where he gave favorable rulings for one of the petitioners, Justice Scott Porman cannot be a member of the committee probing the issue. Another relief she's seeking in that substantive issue has to do with Justice Adibu Asiedu. He says Justice Adibu Asiedu started hearing the case involving old TAFO Member of Parliament Vincent Ekwesafua, and then after 2 adjournments, he was taken off that case and then now placed on the committee. He says she's arguing that it doesn't look good for judicial independence. And for the 3 other persons, that's Daniel Demlevo and the 2 others, saying that for them to have taken part in such an exercise, there was an oath they ought to have taken. According to the suspended Chief Justice, they did not take those oaths, and as a result of that, they cannot be members of that committee, or they do not qualify to be members of that committee. So those are the substantive issues that he's filed at the Supreme Court, based on interpretation and enforcement of the Constitution as well.
Could this be the end of the road for her?
Well, there's a substantive case as well, and so until that matter is decided, even after it's decided, she has an option for a review depending on how it goes. This is not to in any way infer how it will go, but again, as somebody a lawyer herself, as a judge herself, there are a lot of options available to her. And even the Vincent Ekwesafua case, it is important to note that the substantive matter in that case has not been completed, and so these cases are still before the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to make a determination. What the Supreme Court has done so far is to say that the applicants that have come before them as of now have not been able to demonstrate why the Supreme Court should injunct the committee from going ahead with their proceedings until final determinations of the matter. The Supreme Court is saying that the committee can still be doing their work while we also consider these suits, and then when we make a determination, depending on how it goes, then it may have an impact on whatever goes on at the committee level.
Hansen, thank you very much. Hansen Ajema is our court correspondent, giving us an update on the Supreme Court ruling that happened today, where the court dismissed an injunction application filed by suspended Chief Justice Madam Gertrude Tokono. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We'll bring you some of your messages coming in thick and fast. The Chief Justice and a legal team led by former Attorney General Godfrey Dami should know that the law of the country or the laws of the country can't be bent to favor them. Ghana is on a track of development, and we don't need any character to delay the reset agenda. May God bless our homeland. Ghana is coming from Nene Gaddafi in Yolo Korobo. Jones Adoboyla says, I think it will be in the best interest of the CJ to resign to save her integrity. If there's to save her integrity, wonders they say shall never end. Today, Atacha and the rest are it's not very clear. Another one, Hassan from Alasan says, I'm struggling to understand what exactly the suspended Chief Justice is trying to achieve with the latest petition. Is this an attempt to win public sympathy over the ongoing trial? And then Akapol Jr. from Ahafomem says, I don't really know why the Chief Justice or the suspended Chief Justice is still fighting over her suspension. She must understand the fact that her dismissal was premeditated even before the NDC won the election, and the committee is established to ensure her outright dismissal. She must resign before they humiliate her. Akate Raymond from Agotime says, Chief Justice Araba Tokonu's demeanor in her pronouncement are in bad taste. She must just resign. And then lyrics from UK Landing says, you can make all the noise, but the law is the law. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafe, and I'm here with Fafa Melody. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, there are more stories.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ah, go me. At what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish Magobe fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand the Magobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Yo, Anna. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Afternoon.
Oh, afternoon.
Please, Momo.
Deposit or withdrawal?
Withdrawal.
Ah, I like how you say withdrawal. How much?
500 Ghana.
Why allow cash out?
Yes.
I feel ball number no mami why?
0241 789.
Ah, nice one. Approve.
Please, the agent's name, is it Mipiska Bebre to Coin Ventures?
Hey, into what body you now?
She. My let into. I have to verify.
Always confirm the name of the person you are receiving money from before accepting a request. If you receive a request from a friend to send money to an unfamiliar number, call to confirm before taking action. Do not share your number with strangers for the purpose of receiving e-cash in exchange for physical cash, because the source could be criminal and result in legal actions against you.
MTN.
Babalono Ankasa Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get Sumo Rambo and get Sumo Super. And the Polytank we did Polytank. Babalono Ankasa Polytank, the original, always the best.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami. We are here tonight. I'm here with Fafa Melody. Let's go back to our earlier story where today the Supreme Court dismissed the injunction application filed by the suspended Chief Justice, Madam Gertrude Tokono. Let's speak to one of her lawyers who is also the Member of Parliament for the Old Tafo constituency in the Ashanti region, Vincent Ko Asifa. Vincent, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me, Sami.
Vincent, how would you describe when people say that this is a major setback?
Well, I think I couldn't have agreed with them more, especially because we were thinking that the Supreme Court will protect constitutional rights of persons as against mere proceedings, or if like mere procedures in a proceeding. Unfortunately, we didn't get it that way. We felt that at any point in time, irrespective of the forum, the constitutional rights of persons, if they are being trampled upon, the best place to come is the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court did not, as it were, reason with us. They did not see wisdom into arguments, and for that matter, the impression is created that if you go to a forum like that and people put a gun at you on your head, or if like you are being slapped, I mean, because it is supposed to be in camera, you have no avenue to take your consent. I mean, so that is what is being told. It's unfortunately disappointing, but what can we say?
What options are available to you and your clients as we speak? What options are available for you now?
Well, I think that now we may have to go through the process, the hearing, what the Supreme Court have said. Of course, we are now waiting for the judgment on the ruling on the 12th of June. I mean, based on the ruling and the reasons that have been advanced, I mean, we will decide as to the next step. But we hope that the committee will continue its work. We will see what we can do from there. But, I mean, clearly, the process has not been fair.
And then one will also say that could this be the end of the road for all these legal tasks, or not to have the committee here?
You know that even with the case that I filed, I mean, it is still up for a review or something, and so I mean there are a lot of avenues for us to be able to drum home our arguments and our points. We will have to exhaust every available procedures to us. You know that I've already made a point that even when you check Article 146, there's nothing that gives a right of appeal to the Chief Justice when there's a recommendation that emanates from the committee. I mean, when I say there's nothing like that, it means that, I mean, there's nothing that has been stated black and white. So we can even seek for an interpretation, maybe going forward, as to whether there's a right of appeal that should be given to the Chief Justice when there's a recommendation from the committee. In the event that the Supreme Court sees reason, or if you like, see wisdom into some of these points that we are raising, I mean, then we hope that we should be able to make some headway, because you know that as per the Constitution, Commission of Inquiry can sit. When the Commission of Inquiry sits, their decision is a decision of a High Court. Anybody who is not satisfied after the stipulated time that has been provided in the Constitution lapses, then you can go to the Court of Appeal. Same way with the House of Chiefs. When the House of Chiefs gives a decision, anybody who is not satisfied with a decision from the House of Chiefs, by way of an appeal, for right of appeal, you can go to the Supreme Court. And so it beats my imagination that that cannot be explored. I mean, we are going to make sure that is also explored because final judicial power cannot rest with a committee like that. Article 125 is very clear. The final judicial power lies with the judiciary, and at any point in time, if a body, an agency, an institution under the Constitution is given, if you like, the responsibility to decide on the matter, it should not be final. The final judicial decision should lie with the court.
Finally, before I go, there are many who have also said that she should just resign. She should just resign and end all this legal tussle. As one of her lawyers, you think this advice is well and proper?
we don't have that indication from her yet. So I think that we'll carry on with the instructions.
Thank you very much. Vincent Kolasifo is a member of parliament for Otafo and one of the lawyers for the suspended Chief Justice, Madam Gertrude Tokono. Fafa, how's our next story?
Former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has expressed concern over the arrest and continued detention of Ashanti Regional MPP Chairman Bernard Entry-Bwesiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi. In a Facebook post, the 2024 flag bearer of the MPP criticized the handling of the case, describing the charges as vague. He stressed the importance of upholding constitutional rights and legal procedures, stating that no Ghanaian, regardless of political affiliation, should be denied justice. Here are excerpts of the post.
I am deeply concerned about the arrest and continued detention of the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Mr. Bernard Entry-Bwesiako Wontumi, particularly as the charges remain vague and his whereabouts remain unknown. In a democratic environment as ours, no individual is above the law. Equally, no Ghanaian, regardless of political affiliation or status, should ever be denied their constitutional rights. Justice and due process are not optional, they are the foundation of our democracy. I urge IYOKO and all relevant state institutions to act strictly within the bounds of the law and to respect the rights of Mr. Wontumi as guaranteed by our constitution. Any deviation from these principles risks undermining public trust in our justice system.
You heard excerpts of the Facebook post made by former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
And as we speak now, Wontumi, we understand, is still on admission at the hospital, and his lawyers are racing against time to secure him that bail, 50 million Ghana cedi bill. Let's go to the office of IYOKO, and Citi News reporter Charles Osukumi is there as we speak to get the latest on this particular issue. Charles, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Have the lawyers been able to secure this bail condition?
Well, Sami, that's what we're told. They're still working on his lawyer, and he appears to be leading his legal team. I'm still working to meet these bail conditions. 50 million cedis with 2 sureties. Since afternoon, we've known about those bail bonds. If Chairman Wontumi is able to meet these conditions, he is free to go. But up until now, they have not been able to secure him. So we have heard that the chairman has been brought into the offices of IYOKO from the hospital. It was done quite clandestinely on the blind side of the media, which is currently making up the most of the about 80 people who are currently stationed outside the IYOKO head office. That bill has not been able to be secured yet. But a bit of some politics here. You know, Chairman Wontumi is the chairman for the NPP's, biggest stronghold, the Ashanti region. And in the past, we've heard about some rumblings about some conflict between Chairman Wontumi and Kennedy Japan, one of the aspirants of the NPP for the 2024 elections. Well, Kennedy Japan was here earlier in the day, and one of his aides, the chairman for the NPP in Tema West, confirmed to us that he offered himself as surety for Chairman Wontumi. So Kennedy himself dispelling some of the rumors that there's a certain rift between him and Chairman Wontumi. Now, a few minutes ago, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's campaign manager for the 2024 election, the former member of parliament for Suhum, also just came in here. And then, guess who followed him? The former education minister and member of parliament for Bosomche, the Honorable Yao Osei also came in. Now, they haven't been allowed to enter the IYOKO premises. I tried to engage them, but they said they know very little, and so they do not intend to comment now. But some of the party faithful are still here. The former Greater Accra Regional Youth Organizer, Moses Abo, is here, and I would engage him briefly Moses, we've known about this bail bond since afternoon. Are you confident that chairman will be able to meet these bail conditions and leave Yoko tonight? I'm convinced, and I'm sure, and the faith that I have, that by the grace of God, we'll live there with Shamon. Well, it doesn't look like it. Because that is your faith, but I also have a different faith. I believe in what tells me, so I'm confident that the word is going on by the grace of God, because this is a civil case. I don't think it's a criminal case. We all have to speak against it. And like you are saying, I'm convinced that by the grace of God, we'll live this by the end of the day. He's in there with his lawyer and the appeal to be. What else are you hearing from the lawyer? Oh, well, the lawyer cannot send his phone inside. But before you go in, he said we should be rest assured that there are just people coming out. And we'll have the day. We are still waiting on the lawyer and himself so that we'll go home. Last night, there was a heavy contingent of military personnel, police personnel here, sort of to protect the local premises. We haven't seen anything of the sort today. Do you think that's a good sign, because you agitated quite heavily last night when those soldiers came? No, we did that because we are against it. It is not their work. And I think a lot of people spoke against it, so I think they have corrected their mistake. That's the reason why they thought as well to bring the police officer. And we are calm. There is calm here. You can see how the policemen are handling us. Everything is free. But the military, this is not their job. So I think the reason why the military men didn't come, but we spoke against, and a lot of people, some of the media also condemned. So that's the reason why I think they didn't come. So Sammy, it's relative calm here, and most of these supporters are expectant that Chairman Huntsman in the next few minutes will come out of that Yoko headquarters.
Okay, Charles, but then finally before I let you go, what about Wuntumi himself? We understand he's still on admission at the hospital. Is that a case, or he's been discharged? What do you know?
Please repeat that.
We understand Wuntumi is still on admission at the hospital. As at the time before we came on air, is he still on admission, or he's been discharged? What do you know?
No, so what I am thinking is that he's been brought back to the Yoko headquarters. He's doing well, and he's in the Yoko headquarters, still undergoing the processes with his lawyer. I'm hoping that he can be free. But the Kokoyansa is here. I'll try and see a few words out of him. This is Eyewitness News on Citi FM. The 2024 campaign manager for Dr. Baumia. Kennedy Japon was here earlier. You are here, I imagine, on behalf of Dr. Baumia.
Thank you very much. Indeed, Doctor would have wished to be here himself. He's not in Accra at the moment, and that is why he asked me to come and witness firsthand what is happening here, so I'll be able to brief him on happenings concerning the Wuntumi detention, arrest and detention. And so precisely that's why I'm here, to find out what is actually going on and be able to brief him on the situation, so we'll be able to know exactly what to do.
What are you taking back to Doctor? What have you had?
Well, so far, as you are perhaps aware, we've been here for a couple of hours, and we haven't been able to gain access to Wuntumi yet. We understand he's actually being interrogated at the moment, and so he's with his lawyers and the interrogators, and we are hoping that once that is done, either we'll have access to him or his lawyer to gain first-hand information on the actual situation. But for me, it's a little worrisome what we've been witnessing lately concerning reports of Rambo-style arrests and detentions. Well, one would have thought that we, in the 33 years or so of our Fourth Republican Democratic dispensation, would have left this revolutionary style thing way behind us. But it seems to be happening more often than not. today is Nadenta Kumi, tomorrow is one to me, the next day is this person. Every day you wake up to one of such things. And I'm not too sure what is the motive driving these things. And these are regular, ordinary citizens that you can easily either even a single policeman going to their house to tell them that you are needed at the police station. I'm sure they will come. These are not people who wake up and are surrounded by bodyguards or macho men or anything of the sort. So you don't need this show of force as we are seeing. For instance, and I stand to be corrected, I had this one instance. He was actually on his way either to or from reporting to the police headquarters, and then cars around him, Rambo style, and arrested. It's like we are showing you power. You know, there's a real danger to this. We have shown ourselves that our political power is oscillating. It goes here and comes here. And if this kind of thing continues the way we are seeing it, one day you will have a government, a party office as a government, and its followers will begin to act in a way and manner that might, they will try to outdo what they saw when they went into position. And the result,
Thank you very much, Charles. Charles Ozukumi, Citi News reporter, speaking to Frederick Opari Ansah, who was the campaign manager for Dr. Mamadu Bawumia in the 2024 election, giving us an update on what's happening at the Yoko office. Ashanti Regional Chairman of the MPP, Chairman Wuntumi, still in the custody of Yoko, been discharged from the hospital. His lawyers are still working to secure him the bail, the 50 million Ghana Citi bail, and they are still working to secure that. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. They say that on the 9th of June, they will withdraw their services. We'll find out why they're giving us this threat.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Hot pepper powder. Loco shoe. This advert is FDA approved.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open it.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Joe Pana. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Fun fact, did you know that most frogs can leap more than 20 times their body length? Yup, magical. Now just imagine your business with that kind of reach. Take that leap with Frog. Frog is a bulk SMS, voice messaging, and IVR from Wiggle. User-friendly, fast, and reliable. Get more features on one platform for all your bulk messaging needs. Whether you're a church, financial institution, school, corporate organization, or individual, if you need to reach people with your services, do it with Frog. Contact 0553 019 529 or 0552 809 558. Speak to us at www.wiggle.com.gh. Frog, a leap into greatness.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're also listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafi, and tonight I'm here with Fafa Melody. Now, the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association has issued a statement. The statement, they say that they want government to ensure that the collective agreement that was signed in May 2024 between the association and the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Finance, as well as the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, is fully implemented. To that effect, the association has issued a roadmap for a strike. They say that on the 2nd to the 3rd of June 2025, they are wearing red armbands or headgears. On the 4th of June to 8th of June, a withdrawal of all OPD services, including public hospitals or public health services, A&C services, and specialist clinics. And then on the 9th of June 2025, total withdrawal of all services. Let's speak to Perpetua Oforian-Poffo, who is the president of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. Good evening. Thank you very much for your time, Madam Perpetua.
Thank you to Sami for having me.
What is this collective agreement you talk about in your statement?
Thank you very much, and good evening to all your listeners and those watching you on TV as well. So, a collective agreement is simply an agreement between an employer and an employee organization or representative in terms of the conditions of service of the workers. So, we started this process way early in 2024. We had to submit a proposal to the Fair Wages. We had to sit several months to negotiate what we had proposed, and finally we had it signed off in May 2024 as an agreement between the two parties. And unfortunately, just around the time when the Ministry of Finance was going to act on it in terms of getting it implemented, a section of our colleagues who felt they were exempted from the process of the negotiation made a case at the court, and it dragged us up until just this January 2025. That was when the court gave the judgment on the fact that the collective agreements could go on to be signed because the two parties, as it were, had agreed on certain things. And since January 2025, we've been following up. There have been meetings, we've written letters, and all we keep hearing is we need a little more time, we need to review this, we need to do this, we need to do that. But the point is that a collective agreement is a collective agreement. It is signed off, and it beholds the employer to simply implement it. We know that in the implementation process, there will be some challenges here and there, but once we put our heads together, we'll be able to overcome it. But once that indication of implementation has not been done, that is where we don't understand. We can't be following up on a directive from the Ministry of Finance to this effect for the last 5 months, and we are not seeing any headway. We go there, officials there tell us something else, and then we are hearing other things. And, our members are simply tired of the excuses we keep giving them, because we have since January been telling them, oh, wait a minute, the new government, we need to take our time. Then it came to budget. Let's wait to let them incorporate it in the budget. Wait, let's do this. It's excuses upon excuses. We giving excuses for the employer. At the end of the day, we are tired of the excuses the employer is giving us. Nurses and midwives are also tired of the excuses we are giving them. So we set out this roadmap. And if you look at the roadmap critically, we've even been very generous, considering the kind of agitations and the pressure that is coming on us as leaders. We've been very, very generous with that roadmap. All that we are saying is that there will be red armbands from 2nd and 3rd, from 4 to 8. We will withdraw OPD services. And then from 9th of June, we will withdraw all service. We are hoping that the employer will not wait for us to go through the long haul of this industrial action. We hope that they will do the needful, and that is getting the Ministry of Finance to do what it needs to do. And then we'll all be very comfortable and continue doing our work as is expected of us.
Madam Peboja, if you say you are engaging the ministry, you've engaged in which you have stated, and they are still, in a dialogue with you, why don't you wait for, reach a conclusion before you can announce a withdrawal? Because if you announce a total withdrawal, as you said, on the 9th of June, the patients who are going to suffer the most.
We don't want the patients to suffer. And I don't think our employer wants patients to suffer. So I want to believe strongly that they will do the needful. And the needful is getting the Ministry of Finance to do what it needs to do, so that our collective agreement will be implemented as it should be. We are workers of Ghana, and we deserve better services as others are also receiving. And all that we are calling for is implementation of our collective agreement, so that we'll also have what it takes to be able to get up every day and take transport and go to work and come back, have enough to feed ourselves and our families, have enough to do other things. So it is very simple, and we hope and pray that our employers will not wait for us to get to that level. They will do what they need to do so that we'll all have our peace.
And the withdrawal of service is the only option available?
At this time, I don't know what option is there again, because we've written letters, we have followed up, we've had certain engagements, and nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. And so if we've taken this step, it should tell you, just like we indicated in the press statement, we've really made sure that we've taken the nation into consideration. We've had a lot of patience. But 5 months on, and considering the fact that 1 year on after it was signed off, it is too much, and the right thing needs to be done. We have seen our other colleagues in the health sector enjoying current rates of some allowances, and we are not getting it. Is it fair? Is it fair, considering the kind of workload that is on us as nurses? If you go to the farthest place of Ghana, you find a nurse there working, you won't even find other professionals. We are breaking our backs to sustain the health system, to support the health system, so that whatever targets we've set for ourselves, we achieve them. And if something that is supposed to come to us, if it's not coming, then what is it? Recently, with the inauguration of some of the health sector boards and commissions, the backlash, the lamentation that is coming from our fraternity. Where is the representation for nursing and midwifery? We don't see that. After all, when you go to every health system, they know, whether from the minister to the directors or whatever, they know without nurses and midwives, your health system will not run. We are doing everything we can amidst the challenges that we have. But it seems it's not being appreciated. What is due us? Give it to us, and let us be free and focus on our work and do it. We are improvising here and there without the necessary equipment and gadgets to work with. Essential medications that we need, they are not there. Emergency services are not running because you don't have oxygen, you don't have this, you don't have that. Amidst all of these things, we are still at post and working. Go and see some of the work environments in which some of our colleagues are working at the sub-district level. In all of this, we are working. And what is due us? Why should we be struggling for it to be implemented for us?
Okay.
Why?
Right. Professor, just hold on for me. Tony Goodman, who is the Public Relations Officer at the Ministry of Health, has also joined us on the telephone. Perhaps may find some responses to the number of issues that you have raised in this statement and in this interview. Tony, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. You've heard the nurses. They say by the 9th of June, they are going to withdraw all services across public hospitals in the country. That will be a big blow.
Yes, good evening to our listeners. I'm not sure that will be necessary, given the various procedure or processes we have triggered since coming to the Ministry of Health and hearing that there is such a condition of service we need to.
Hello, Sammy, are you there?
the minister since has met this nurses severally. The last time we met them was 3 weeks ago. And during that meeting,
Tony, just hold on. Perpetua, I'm still here. Tony Goodman, who is the public relations officer of the Ministry of Health, is also on the telephone to respond to some of the issues that you raised. So I'll be glad if you could just kindly listen to the responses on the issue that you've raised, and then we can move on from there.
Sure.
Tony, you can go ahead and make your submission.
So the last time we met was about 3 weeks ago, and the agreement was that we were going to form a tripartite committee, the leadership of the GRNMA, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Finance, for us to see to the finality of this matter. And then together with the minister, the president of the association, they went to World Health Organization, came back on Monday. So we are expecting them to come for us to form this committee and see to the finality of this matter. So we were shocked and surprised that just this afternoon they have put in some roadmap leading to several industrial action. We believe that that is not good faith. If you have some negotiation with somebody and it hasn't ended, the best thing for you, if you are not sure or you don't trust what is happening, you just go back and tell
I don't know what is happening, but from my end, I cannot say anything that Tony is saying.
So we are surprised at the ministry, and we believe that they will rescind their decision and come back to the table.
Tony, the nurses, as you know, they've had several engagement with the ministry. They've been at the ministry on several occasions just to engage officials on this matter. And till date, they've not been a proper roadmap as far as implementation of their condition of service or the collective agreement is concerned. So they've exhausted all the options available, and so the only available option is the withdrawal of services on the 9th of June.
My brother, I believe that governance is continued. However, we still have change of government. There is a change of government, a change of a minister, a change of some personnel here. So to understand what we are implementing, it is proper for us to come together as a team and look at the document. This is what the minister is asking for. The minister is not asking too much. The minister has not said, I'm not going to implement this. He said, let's put together a team so that we can understand exactly what we are dealing with. The minister got to office in February. They said they completed this matter last year and it wasn't implemented. Somebody who came just some few months ago is showing good faith and said, let's come together, look at the matter and see how best we can resolve it. I'm sure this should be enough show of respect, show of leadership, and show somebody who is ready to advocate for his staff. So it's proper for us to come back to the table and look at exactly what is the minister's position on this matter. Let's look at that, and then we'll look at the amicable solution to this matter.
Tony, before I let you go, you can assure Madam Perpetua and her Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association that we will not get to the 9th of June threat. We will not get there.
We shouldn't get there. My sister, I was with her yesterday. If she was to tell me that she was going to declare strike today, I would have begged her. So we only say that let's come back to the table. If we go on strike, those who will suffer needlessly will be those who will go to the hospital. They should rescind their decision and come back for us to look at the matter. And I'm sure at the table, that is the only place we can find amicable solution to this matter.
Thank you very much. Tony Goodman, spokesperson for the Ministry of Health. Earlier, you heard Perpetua Ofori Ampof, who is the president of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sammy Uyafe, and I'm here with Fafa Melody. Some of your text messages before we go for business. Godfrey Dami, who previously praised the Supreme Court and its ruling last year, is now crying foul against the same judges. What has changed? The famous quote by the suspended Chief Justice is, "The law is the law," remains relevant in this situation. Idrisu A.B. Fuseni says, wonders shall never end. I'm surprised when I hear Godfrey Dami, a former AG, complaining about the Supreme Court ruling. 24-hour economy is a policy to give we the youth of this country jobs and must be welcome. And then Otua from Abeka said, what goes around comes around. Inventors of unanimous FC being whipped by their own invention. Peter from Teshi said the suspended Chief Justice action is making her guilty even before the outcome of the committee hearing. The former AG is fighting a lost battle. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We go for business. When we come back, we'll do Point Blank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Melody Fafa. Got to fair the details of our stories. President John Dramani Mahama has announced that the government is ready to roll out its flagship 24-hour economy policy with a key focus on decentralizing the policy's implementation across sectors. As part of the rollout, the government will also establish a 24-hour economy secretariat to oversee and coordinate the program. Speaking at a multi-sectoral engagement at the Jubilee House, the president confirmed that he has reviewed the final draft of the policy.
The 24-hour economy program is not a top-down model. It is decentralized. Each district will establish its own 24-hour implementation task force, housed within the district and municipal assemblies, and aligned with our local economic development policy. This decentralized approach will allow each region to define and lead its path of industrial transformation based on its natural comparative advantages. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no longer just a vision. It is a structured, sequenced, and inclusive plan, and its implementation is beginning. I've authorized the 24-hour secretariat to begin detailed program design and investment packaging. The draft program document will be released publicly on Tuesday for broader consultation, and I will invite you to help us finalize it. We'll officially launch the 24-hour plus program in July this year, most probably on Ghana's Republic Day, which is a symbolic day for a bold new national agenda. To guarantee institutional stability, I'm working with Parliament to establish the 24-hour Economy Secretariat as an independent authority, reporting directly to the President and backed by legislation. This will ensure strong coordination, investor confidence, and delivery continuity.
President John Mahama speaking there. Now, government is set to overhaul the country's existing mining policy framework to attract more investment and ensure greater economic value from the extractive sector. Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Armakofibua says the proposed reforms will target streamlining the licensing process and improving transparency while promoting sustainability and responsible mining. He made the remarks at the opening of the 2025 West African Mining and Power Expo in Accra.
We are embarking on critical reforms at the lands and natural resource sector, especially in the mining sector. We are currently very far advanced in renewing and reforming our mining policy. We are also reforming our licensing policy and introducing what we call cooperative mining to ensure we work with experienced large-scale mining companies to empower communities and show them the right ways of mining responsibly and sustainably. Ghana's story offers compelling answers, and ladies and gentlemen, this is why. Ghana is Africa's largest gold producer and a top 10 global supplier, as I said, with over a century of mining expertise. Ghana is endowed with bauxite, manganese, iron ore, and now lithium. And all these are key minerals for the green energy transition.
You heard Emmanuel Armakofibua, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister. Now, a high-level delegation from Citi FM and Channel One TV has paid a courtesy visit to the leadership of Hollard Ghana as part of efforts to strengthen corporate collaboration. The delegation, led by the Managing Director of Citi FM and Channel One TV, Samuel Atamensa, included General Manager Bernard Avle, Head of News Vivian Kai, Local Business Development Manager Omane Mensa Bonsu, and Sales Manager Miriam Ivy Odro. Daniel Odro Mensa has more in this report.
In his remarks, Mr. Atta-Mensah emphasized the importance of strengthening the long-standing relationship between the two organizations, citing the potential for mutual growth through enhanced cooperation. The Hollard Ghana leadership team was represented by Group Chief Executive Officer Patience Achianu, Group Chief Finance Officer Richard Ahulu, and Group Head of Marketing, Corporate Affairs and Customer Experience, Cynthia Ofori Jomfo. Both teams engaged in productive discussions focused on leveraging media and insurance synergies to deliver value to their respective audiences and clients. Hollard Ghana is made up of Hollard Insurance Ghana, Hollard Life Assurance, and Hollard Ghana Holdings. The group combines deep local expertise with the global capabilities of the Hollard International brand, headquartered in South Africa. With a strong commitment to innovation, Hollard provides a wide range of insurance solutions, including life, funeral, motor, personal accident, home, and business insurance, designed to meet the evolving needs of Ghanaians.
That was a report by Daniel Odro-Mensah. Now, the Citi Business Festival is back this June with a packed agenda to equip entrepreneurs and SMEs with the market information to scale and thrive. Organized by Citi FM and Channel and TV, the 2025 Citi Business Festival will feature strategy-led boot camps, SME clinics, and high-level fora focused on resilient growth, innovation, and strategic partnerships. Managing Director of Citi FM and Channel and TV, Samuel Atta-Mensah, says the month-long festival is tailored to build business capacity at all levels.
This year we are doing one on agribusiness.
Correct.
And then in the current situation of what we refer to as the tariff wars, we are also having another one that examines our options as a country, how to find remedy that can also help us in the face of the mounting pressures due to the tariff wars.
But two for us.
Yes.
Okay.
The first one is on the 12th on the tariff wars, and the second one is on the 19th of June, all happening at the Alisa.
So these are
they are in person, but we will also do simulcast on radio, on TV, and online as well. The last week is when we have the management boot camp.
You heard Samuel Atta-Mensah, Managing Director here at Citi FM and Channel on TV. Meanwhile, Absa Bank Ghana is encouraging entrepreneurs and startups to take advantage of this year's Citi Business Festival. The bank describes the festival as a huge platform for business growth and strategy. Head of International Communications at Absa Bank Ghana, Cyril Nye, assures that the festival will provide business with the exposure to deal with current challenges.
It's been an amazing partnership for us, and we see the benefits, we see the impact on businesses. If you've never been on the Citi Business Festival, then I would say you are losing big time, because I mean it's a platform that really shares pragmatic solutions that can help businesses to grow. And even for those who are just considering entering into business, if you look at the caliber of people coming on the show to speak, if you look at the quality of information shared and the knowledge that is just shared, I mean, if you are not on it, then it means you are losing big time.
That was Head of International Communications at Absa Bank Ghana, Cyril Nye. The 2025 Citi Business Festival is powered by Citi FM and Channel on TV in partnership with Absa Bank Ghana and MTN. Now, the Ghana Gold Board is directing importers and exporters to actively report gold smuggling at various points of entry as it intensifies efforts to sanitize the sector. Acting CEO of Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, maintains the crackdown will formalize gold trade, curb revenue losses, and boost value retention in the local economy.
We are clamping down the activities of gold smuggling. Now they are changing the strategies. There are those who are trying to smuggle gold through the airports and even through the ports. And we'll count on your feedback or intelligence in that area so that we can clamp down on the activities of such people. Those who do that are enemies of the state. Because when they do that, they deprive us of the forex, the dollars that we need to get from our own gold resources to support the national currency. Look at when Ghana started producing gold. We were once upon a time called Gold Coast. Yet this mineral has not really benefited us like it has benefited Dubai, that does not even produce gold. So we need to clamp down on the activities of these smugglers.
That was acting CEO of Gold Board, Sammy Jamefi. And that's all for this edition of the City Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Melody Fafa. But up next is Point Blank.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Are you ready to lead like never before?
Ready to master the art of strategy and inspire teams that thrive?
It's the Management Bootcamp 2025.
An exclusive high-impact training for mid to senior pros.
Learn from Ghana's finest industry minds, brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM.
From the trusted voices of excellence, City FM and Channel 1 TV comes an elite training experience designed to sharpen your strategy, leadership, and communication.
Make a date for the Management Bootcamp 2025 from Sunday the 22nd of June to Saturday the 28th of June 2025. The venue is the Platinum Bay and Passion Base Hotels.
Call 0242-011-424 to register now.
The Management Bootcamp 2025. Lead forward. The Management Bootcamp 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 City FM.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
This is Eyewitness News, and this is Point Blank. Tonight on Point Blank, we do the Black Stars. The Black Stars of Ghana, as you're aware, is in their 4-team tournament way back, all the way in the UK, known as the Unity Cup. It is between the Black Stars of Ghana, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the Jamaican national team, and Trinidad and Tobago. The sports guys are here to give us a commentary on this all-important match between the Black Stars of Ghana and the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The bragging rights begins again between Ghana and Nigeria. From Ghana Jollof to Nigeria Jollof. This time around is on the pitch far away in the UK between the Black Stars of Ghana and the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Bernard Abeko is here and Gabi Milito. Hi guys, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Jordan.
Jordan Wubenya. Oh, Charlie. It's difficult. It's a friendly game. I hope we win.
Is it a FIFA sanction game?
Yes.
Okay. So
I hope we win.
It will affect the rankings.
It would affect the rankings. And speaking of that, the Nigerians are 46 in the world, and we are 74th. Yeah, so there's a huge gap in there. The last time we played,
I went today may push Ghana a bit up.
And then if you're able to go to the final, we met Jamaica. We beat them. It would improve our rankings on the FIFA rankings. Yeah.
Okay, guys, take it over.